Flipping heck, it's messy in here, isn't it?
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up.
Welcome back, guys, and today we are going to be creating this 16-inch funeral heart tribute using this 16-inch heart oasis base. Now, this heart was too big to fit in the sink, so I did run the tap over it, so make sure it is nicely soaked. Make sure it's soaking for about 90 seconds. So, in our soaked 16-inch heart oasis base, we are going to put in some white spray roses, pink carnations, some white gyp. We've got a load of pink spray roses, pink eustoma, and some white roses. Now, I have gauged how much flowers that I need for the price of the heart. So this heart's £115. I have put a load out, and then I'll tell you at the end how much I actually used. So let's get on with it. So basically we need to cut the heads off all the flowers. So I'm going to cut these, put 2 fingers on the top of the stem, so where the top of the stem hits the bottom of the head of the rose, just cut. Make sure you don't cut your finger off though. And it's basically the same principle as a carnation funeral tribute, but you're doing them with like roses and carnations instead of the chrysanthemum base. And then basically what we're going to have to do first is we're going to go round the sides first. So we know we've got enough for the sides. Now, the reason that I've got so many pink spray roses is because they're really, really good with filling the sides as well. Now, for this order, she wanted it to be more pinks than white, so it's in the pink and white theme, but she wants it to be more pink, so that's why I've got more pinks. So, I'm just going to go around the sides with these. Now, if you can see any guard petals on the roses, it doesn't necessarily matter because we'll go around at the end and make sure everything's nice and perfect. So we're essentially just going around all the base, so we can't see any of the base at the sides with the roses. And then I might put a little bit of eustoma in as well. You don't want any bulky heads like a big rose like this, because can you imagine it will come out and lose its shape. So if you've got any flower heads that are similar sort of length to your rose, like the eustoma, you can use those as well. And we aren't actually going to use any foliage around the edges. I'm going to put foliage on the surface but not around the edge. So if you just continue going all the way around until you meet this point here. And then this is what our beautiful base looks like. Now I did take the eustoma out because I wanted it to be really smooth and in a nice line around the edges. So now we're going to go on to the surface. And then what I like to do next is add the gyp in. Just create a nice base, and we know that it's going to be full with no gaps. So I'm just going to take little bits of gyp, probably about that big, just like not even 2 fingers worth, and just put them in at an angle so they're not sticking out right. So just nicely distribute them around the heart like this, and then you're good to go.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me.
Okay, so this is fantastic for the amount of gyp that you need to put in. It doesn't really matter about the direction that the gyp's going in, because we'll do that with the main flowers. I just like to get some eucalyptus. Make sure you cut it from the bottom. Don't just cut it from the tops, because when you go and use more, you'll just get like blunt stems. So I just use, again, about that much. So there's like 2 leaves on the 2 levels of leaves on the eucalyptus unit, and then we're just going to pop those all around as well. And you can use them from the same stem, and then with some of them you can just use a single stem as well, like this, and you can pop it in. I'm losing my voice, by the way, so please bear with. So I'm just going to put these all the way around.
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just tweet your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.
Okay, so that amount of eucalyptus should be good for now. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my bigger heads. So I'm going to use the carnations. So again, 2 fingers, cut. Make sure they're nicely like in bloom so you can manipulate them. So they start being more in bloom than something like this. So you can just fan out the petals a little bit like this to show the beauty of them. Okay, and then you can really just put them anywhere that you want, like face up, but make sure they are nicely distributed throughout. And make sure they're not really like, say if I cut a stem like that long and shoved it in, it's not going to look good, is it? Make sure they all are at the same level. Now I'm really liking carnations at the moment. They're a sort of love or hate sort of flower. I actually quite like them. They come in all different colours as well. And they're cheaper than roses as well. So it's a win-win. Not that that's why I'm using them, but... Okay. That's a bit long. Okay, then I think just one here. Perfect, so that's all the carnations that we're going to be using. Then we're going to go in with our white roses. So these are just like your average standard size rose. So again, exactly the same length. Just pop those in. Now, if you've got the guard petals on still, just take those off. And if you see that this one's like still in bud, you can actually just hold the bottoms like this and just give it a little bit. Oh, that doesn't look very good. But just blow and then it just opens a little bit more. Okay, so we're just evenly distributing these throughout as well. Now, if you're doing these smaller or bigger, this is the same principle, it's just you'll be using more or less flowers. Now, the flowers that I'm using are my go-to for hearts because I know that they will look good in a heart, they'll be the right level, right shape. I don't particularly like using Geminis in there because they take up so much room, and then like the structure really changes, so I stick to these flowers. Okay, so I'll just turn this around so you can see what's going on in your direction at the moment. So mine looks like this. And then we are going to use our Lisianthus or eustoma or lizzies, sorry, whatever you want to call them. Just pop these in between, just basically covering any gap that we can see. Thought I didn't have any others there, but where they gone? They're hiding. So as you can see, it's really starting to fill out now. Make sure you do put some around the edges, but make sure when you are doing the edges, your flowers don't come out further than your base spray rows around the sides. Whenever I work on this table, I start getting sciatica. This is why I need to get my floristry cabinet. I feel like my back's going to collapse. That one's coming out further, so I'll put this one here. Now I'll just have use those Lisianthus for now. I'll probably use some more in a bit, but I'm just going to go in with some pink sprays again. So again, you're just putting these into the gaps and nicely distributing. Let me just pull this down a little bit so you can see better. Again, if you can see any of the guard petals, we can just go like these ones. These really do have some guard petals on, so I will go around at the end taking them off. So they look lovely and fresh. So now, this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to put you on a time lapse now. I'm just going to add some more of the flowers that we've been using, just nicely evenly distributed throughout, so we can't see any gaps on the surface or on the sides.
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just me. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't want
is the finished heart in all her glory. There we go. Now, in the £150 that this is worth, we used 11 white roses, 13 pink carnations, 10 pink eustoma. We used 12 pink spray roses. We used 6 white spray roses, 3 stems of gyp, 3 stems of eucalyptus, and obviously the base. So this is £150 worth of floral heart. I hope this video was super duper informative. If it was, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you can be bothered, please give it a like and a comment, and we will see you in the next video.